Hi everybody, thank you so very much for joining me again today. My name is Sharon, and of course I am back with our beautiful Fanny, who we learned at our greeting circle has a change. She's changed her hairstyle, that's right, Fanny. And she really grooved out to some music at greeting circle time, and maybe she'll do another little dance before we say goodbye today. So we've got a couple things that we just want to share with you today. Again, we wanted to remind you of what our wonderful word of the week was, and that is mature. And if you remember from our greeting circle, mature means happens when a person or an object changes into something that is fully grown, or part of the person or part of the animal or part of the object changes into something that is fully grown. That is what mature means, or maturing means. So things like when a kitten matures into a cat, when a caterpillar matures into a butterfly, and Fanny wanted to share something with you too. When a tadpole changes into a frog, it is maturing. The tadpole has matured into a frog. So that is our wonderful word of the week. Mature involves a lot of changes for those items, those people, those animals, and even those objects can also change and mature. Okay, so we have a very special book picked out for you today that showcases some changes for a little frog. And I'm just going to put Fanny down and show you this book. Okay, Fanny? Do you mind having a seat right beside me here? You kind of like showing off your beautiful new hairstyle anyway, so I figured that would be okay. So let's have a look here. And this story, it is called A Chance for Esperanza, and it is written by Pam Schiller, but it is based on a true story. It is someone's memory of what actually happened. So let's have a look through this story and we can talk about it when we're finished. Okay, let's find out what's going on with this book. Okay, are you ready? Abula, the sand is cracking. Tonight's the night. Ivan, the sand is cracking. Tonight's the night. What does that mean? The sand is cracking. Tonight's the night. Okay, let's find out. You are right, Austin. Maybe I'll do one page at a time like this. You are right, Austin. Let's go ask everyone to turn their lights out tonight. We want the moonlight over the ocean to be the guiding light for these little guys. Lights on the beach might distract them. Oh, interesting. For what little guys? And you make sure you have strong batteries in your flashlight, said Ivan, as he patted Austin on the shoulder and winked at Abula. This looks interesting. Abula, Austin said, seriously, I want to hear the story about Esperanza again. It will help me be ready tonight. I am going to help every little turtle make it to the sea. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about turtles, Fanny. Have a look. You have always loved Esperanza's story. I am happy to tell it to you as often as you like. Looks like a beautiful beach. Before you were born, before your mother and father were married, I came to Kelum to visit your mother. She was working in a dive shop. Oh, where people go to get materials to dive under the water with. I fell in love with this village and the people who live here. After the night on the beach, when we set the turtles free, I knew I would return again and again. That sounds so magical. A long time ago, the turtles swam freely in the ocean for thousands of years. There were many, many sea turtles. Then people built homes and big hotels on the beaches where the turtles laid their eggs, and the turtles no longer had a safe place for their nests. Oh, I see. Soon, the number of turtles began to decrease. There were fewer and fewer turtles in the ocean. I'll start the story of Beulah. You're too slow. One night, some mother sea turtles came up on the beach and laid their eggs. Much faster. Early the next morning, my mother and Ivan walked along the beach looking for tracks and small mounds of sand that would indicate a sea turtle's nest was buried below. Oh, I didn't know that's what happens. Traps and small mounds of sand. I guess that makes sense to cover up the eggs, to keep them safe. The first nest they found had already been robbed by birds and crabs. Oh, I guess that is a risk too. There was nothing in it except empty eggshells. But they found another nest that the animals had not discovered. You tell the rest, Beulah. Yvonne and your mother carefully dug up the eggs, all of them. They put them in a pail. Yvonne counted 78 eggs. That's how many eggs they found. They were still safe. Let's see what happens. They carried the eggs to Kelum, to the turtle nursery. They dug a hole in the protected area. They dug a deeper hole than the mother turtle had dug, and then they buried the eggs. So they found a different spot where the eggs could be safe while they develop and mature. When they were finished, they stuck a stick in the middle of the nest as a marker to help them find the nest later. They wrote the date on the marker so they would know when to expect the babies to hatch. Many days later, about 60 in all, the sand around the marker began to crack, and Yvonne knew that the baby turtles were hatching and wiggling out of their shells. Wow. He carefully dug the babies up from their nest and placed them in a box to keep them safe until nightfall. Keep them safe until nightfall. When the sun went down, it was time to release the turtles. Yvonne told everyone to turn off their lights and come to the beach. You were one of the people on that beach that night, Beulah. Yes, Austin, I went to the beach to watch the baby turtles crawl to the sea. Your mother was there too. It was her job to tell the story of how the mother turtle had laid her eggs and how she and Yvonne had reburied them to keep them safe. So once they hatched, they were ready to go back to their original nesting place and go into the sea. And Yvonne and Austin's mom were helping them do that. Your mother told the people to make 2 lines so everyone could see the turtles as they made their way to the sea. She explained that the journey from the box to the ocean was an important part of the release because it helped the turtles develop the rhythm of their crawl, and it helped them strengthen their legs. They need strong legs for swimming. My mother let the turtles out of the box, right, Abula? Austin asked. Right. She did. Your mother released the turtles, and Yvonne used his flashlight to help guide them to the sea. Some of the turtles went straight to the water, didn't they? Austin asked. Yes, some went straight to the water, but others were confused. They crawled in the wrong direction. Yvonne used his flashlight to help them turn around. It's a very tricky business for these little turtle hatchlings. Soon, all the turtles except for one, and you wanted to pick it up and help her, didn't you? All of the others were in the ocean. I wanted to help her, Austin said, but Yvonne said she had to make it on her own. He said if she couldn't make it to the water on her own, she wouldn't be strong enough to survive in the ocean. When a turtle didn't make it to the ocean, it was left on the beach. You asked Yvonne if you could borrow his flashlight, didn't you? Abula asked that to Austin. Oh my goodness. Yes, I took the light and put it close to the turtle's eyes. When I did, I saw that her eyes were crusted over with sand. She couldn't see. I picked her up and wiped her eyes and put her down again. In a short time, she began to move. Oh, thank goodness. There she is. Soon she began to crawl more quickly, and eventually she reached the ocean and swam away, looking just like her brothers and sisters who had gone ahead of her. Wow. You wanted to name her Dilly Dally because that's what she had done. But Yvonne said you should call her Esperanza, which means hope in Spanish. He said, if one woman has this much hope for one turtle, there is hope for all the turtles. It's true. That's right, Austin. Yvonne and your mother have released many turtles over the years. Without their help, most of the turtles would have died. Tonight you will help. You will be the hope for the turtles. And that is the story, A Chance for Esperanza. Have you ever seen turtles? I have in the ocean. One time I went to Hawaii and I was able to see them. Why do you think, Fanny, that they dug up the turtle eggs to begin with? Why do you think they did that? Do you know the answer? Do you know the answer? Can you tell me, Fanny? Yes, you're right. They wanted to protect the eggs. They didn't want any other sea creatures or other beach animals to come and gobble those eggs up. So they took them to a safe place, let them mature and develop, and when they were hatched, brought them back to their original spot. I like the part how Yvonne said that the turtle needed to make it to the ocean by themselves on their own to make sure that their legs were strong enough for swimming. I thought that was very important. So those turtles went through some changes. They went from being an egg to hatching into a little tiny turtle to crawling into the ocean and then swimming throughout the ocean. And then when they're ready, they come back to that same beach to lay their eggs again. That's a really interesting story, isn't it? Fanny, let's talk about some other changes. Let's talk about, let's do that new song. Should we do that new song? Yeah? It's about the changes that happen with plants. So plants start with seeds, and we've actually got a bit of a magnet sequencing set of cards, don't we? Let's bring those out now. This feels like a good time. And while I'm doing that, you may remember from the morning message that the words dilly and dally were in that message. And in fact, the morning message is still right here. So let's erase it. But do you remember why now that they wanted to name the turtle Dilly Dally? Because that little turtle hatchling was taking her sweet little time to crawl to the ocean. But she was delayed because of the sand crusted in her eyes, wasn't she? So let's do these sequencing cards, Fanny. Let's do them. Let's show them all. Let's just show them all. And while we sing a song, we can just have a look. And then at the end of the song, we can do the order of them. How's that? Fanny, sound good? You want to help me hold it? Okay. So let's start singing. Do you remember it? The first one. The gardener plants the seeds, the gardener plants the seeds. Deep down in the ground, the gardener plants the seeds. The clouds bring the rain, the clouds bring the rain. Thirsty seeds need water to drink, the clouds bring the rain. The sun warms the earth, the sun warms the earth. The seeds sleep below the ground, the sun warms the earth. The gardener pulls the weeds, the gardener pulls the weeds. Little plants need room to grow, the gardener pulls the weeds. The seeds grow into flowers, the seeds grow into flowers. Colorful, sweet, and oh so neat, the garden is full of flowers. So that song was based on flowers. These cards showcase something a little bit different, don't they? So Fanny, which one do you think goes first? If we think about our song, the gardener plants the seeds. Which picture here shows the gardener? Yes. This one. Let's put that one up first. Move these ones down. Okay. The gardener plants the seeds. The gardener plants the seeds. Deep down in the ground, the gardener plants the seeds. And we know the clouds bring the rain, and that's very important. They need water to grow. And we know the sun brings the warmth and helps to keep the seeds and the seedlings strong and supported by the warmth of the ground. So what do you think happens next? The seeds are in the ground. I think you're right. Yes, I think this one is next. The seeds are in the ground. They start to grow a little bit of roots in the ground, and they start to sprout upwards, reaching for the sun. Whoa, Fanny, I saved you. I think your wig is kind of turning on you. Let's turn that around a little bit. Okay. Now this one is next. You are right, Fanny. You can see that the plant is getting stronger and stronger, and more branches and more leaves are growing. What's next? We see flowers on that plant, don't we? And sometimes flowers on plants are the first thing you see before fruits start to grow. The flowers pop out and then the fruits grow. And look at those, look like delicious strawberries. And I think you're right, Fanny. That is the end one. Look at that little boy is enjoying a strawberry, freshly picked from the strawberry plant. That's a sequencing story. That's fun. And I should tell you guys about some changes that are in and around me right now as we speak. In my backyard, I had some trees cut down just outside of my backyard because they're going to build some new houses. And that is a big change. I no longer see trees when I look out my window. And right now what I hear, and I hope you guys aren't hearing too much of it, but there's some very big machines outside my window. Should I let you have just a little glance of it? Maybe what I'll do is take a picture of it and post it for you. I don't know if I should move the camera for fear of not being able to get us back in focus. So seeds planted in the ground, water, warmth, and nurturing, weeds pulled out, and before you know it, flowers grow and fruits are bear on the trees, and we get to enjoy them. Now, I just have one more really quick story to share with you, only because it's my favorite. Oh dear, Fanny. Let's get that. Let's get that on there properly. I chose this story only because I thought you may have a bunch of different materials at home that you could use your imagination and create your own do-nothing machine. So this story is called The Do-Nothing Machine, and it's written by Sharon McDonald. And I've got a few materials beside me that I thought we could quickly make our own do-nothing machine in just a moment. The story begins, no blueprints or plans, a rhyming account of a child's two hands. It's a story about John, the inventor of things. I wonder what he's going to invent. What his do-nothing machine will actually do. Who made a machine from wood, nails, and string. He marked his machine with letters galore. He couldn't write words since he was just 4. But he could practice writing some letters on there, couldn't he? I bet you know the letters of your name or some of the letters of your name. With all kinds of tools, John spent long hours reworking, remaking, and adding tall towers. Fun. Okay. When friends asked John, "What does it do?" "Nothing," he'd say. "I'm not even through." Wow, he's just using his imagination. I like John's cat, helping him out and supporting him with his presence. The Do-Nothing Machine, John named it one day after months of adding and taking away. That's quite the machine. Just like the machines in my backyard. The fun was in building, not getting through. Yeah, he's having fun all right. It was not important what it could do. It's doing all sorts of things right there, though, isn't it? It's hanging up some clothes. It looks like it could be a sailing ship. It could be a cat toy, all sorts of things. And it could change moment by moment. So gather together the best you can find. Make a do-nothing machine from ideas in your mind. And that's the end. The do-nothing machine. Fun. Okay, Fanny, let's just have a look outside our window for a moment. Oh, the machines are quite far away right now. I was going to try to turn my camera. Now let's just quickly, before we close out, make a do-nothing machine. I found this in my recycling bin. So I thought Fanny could sit inside of it for right now, and she could kind of help me out. Okay, Fanny? So I don't know what I'm going to make. Let's just pretend. Okay, Fanny? I've got some things here, and I've got my tape right here. Let's just see what we can come up with. Already I've got some ideas. Do you have some ideas? It looks like it almost could be a car. Or a sailboat. It's a very special do-nothing machine. And I figured we could also use this egg carton. And I wasn't sure, it could be maybe some kind of a control panel. What do you think? We'll just add that in there. Put that there. Fanny can pretend that those are some buttons and some knobs. Let's look for one more thing in here. One more thing, Fanny. What do you think? One more thing. Yeah? One more thing. Okay, we'll have one of these on each side, okay? And that could be like maybe a blinker setting. One, tapping on one means you're turning right, tapping on the other means you're turning left. So there is our do-nothing machine. What do you think? Should we say goodbye, Fanny? Should we close out? And I would just encourage you guys all to look through your recyclables and create your own do-nothing machine with your imagination. Let's sing that goodbye song. What do you think, Fanny? Okay, let's call this do-nothing machine the goodbye machine, okay? Oh, the goodbye machine is coming. See you soon. Honk, honk. The goodbye machine is coming. See you soon. Honk, honk. The goodbye machine is coming. The goodbye machine is coming. The goodbye machine is coming. See you soon. Honk, honk. We'll say goodbye to Fanny. See you soon. Honk, honk. We'll say goodbye to Fernando. See you soon. Honk, honk. Bye, Fernando. We'll say goodbye to Lily. We'll say goodbye to Max. And we'll say goodbye to you. See you soon. Honk, honk. Bye, friends. See you next time.